chicken breast. I'll have some greens. I'm eating that after my workout.
Right, so he's having broccoli, chicken, and rice. The thing that we hear all the time. But here's the secret, really. Ba, ba, ba. Time all day you're here. Thank you very much for joining me as always. And that's right, today we're going back to The Rock. Who knew about this? But he's still doing his Plaque Adam Press tour, as you would assume. And he did a video where he talked about the food that he's eating. And the thing, when any kind of superstar athlete or superstar celebrity does a feud about their diet, everyone goes, well, I better start eating like that. And I'm going to tell you now, don't do it. You're not them. You don't know what they may be doing or may not be doing. Do what works for you. And 9 times out of 10, if anybody ever tells you to eat 7,000 calories a day, don't eat 7,000 calories a day. Unless you're trying to become massively fat, then it will probably work.
Hey everybody, Dwayne Johnson here, and my friends at Men's Health have asked me to talk about what I eat, so let's dig in.
Interesting clothing choice by The Rock. I can't talk. I could never pull it off. But I guess that kind of sums it up. Somehow he's able to.
I am a real creature of habit when it comes to my diet. I usually eat the same thing every day for days and weeks and months. It's very consistent. It's very boring. It's also extremely disciplined, and that's something that I picked up from my old man.
And that's something that I totally agree with. Do I think you have to do that? No. Sometimes it's nice to have a cookbook of healthy recipes, much like Greg Doucette does, or there's plenty of other ones too, so that you don't feel like you're getting bored and you don't feel like you're falling into a routine that you may not be interested in. But actually, when it comes to me, Simon Miller, massive idiot, that's exactly how I like to do it. I like to eat the same thing every single day in the same proportions until it's time to change things up depending on what my diet is doing. It just works for me. It just makes me feel better. It keeps me disciplined. It keeps me consistent. Who knows why? But again, there's not a one shoe fits all. If you're doing that and you find yourself getting bored or you're finding yourself getting cravings, there's loads of stuff you can eat. Even if it's just switching, there's beef, there's chicken, there's tuna, there's vegan options, there's plant options. There's a bunch of stuff you can do to still get your protein in. It's the same with carbohydrates, pasta, rice, bagels, bread. We've talked about it 1,000 times. We're not going to talk about it again. So if you feel like you need to have variety, you should do that. And if you feel like it's much easier just to go, yep, be the yep guy.
I do have specific approaches to counting macros. I have found over the years that the best strategies are often the ones that you never feel like you're hungry. There's a handful of chefs who I work with, and I have one advisory chef who speaks to them, who works very closely with my strength and conditioning coach, because I am in different locations often throughout the year around the world. So they work out all that math. They're much better and smarter.
Again, that's a massive advantage that he's going to have, but it's not like we wouldn't take advantage of that too. If I could have somebody that was sorting out my diet, and yes, I do. I have a personal trainer, but it's going to be on a totally different level when it comes to The Rock. You know what I'm saying? He's going to have certain benefits. Please work for them, blah, blah. I don't want to talk about it. And, he mentions that the number one thing he tries to take away from that is not feeling hungry. And it's true. If you don't feel hungry, you probably don't want to eat. Sometimes we become sad pandas and we need to sort of eat to try and cheer ourselves up. That happens. We are human beings. But if you really, really, really struggle to do that, you could just drink a bunch of water and eat a bunch of spinach. Don't go too crazy. Everything in moderation. But that spinach will expand in your stomach, and obviously the water will do its thing, and you won't feel hungry. So there's always going to be exceptions to this rule, because if you're training for a competition or a photo shoot or something specific, yes, of course, you're going to have to put some sacrifice in. Unfortunately, that's just how the world works. But if you can stop yourself feeling hungry and you can satiate yourself with the foods that you do enjoy, then you're not going to want to eat a burger or a pizza or nachos or cheese or whatever it may be. And sometimes you can have those foods. Again, just don't eat them too crazy. So once again, it's a very, very good thing always to keep in the back of your mind, how do I fill myself up? Because it's probably going to make me feel better on the other end.
I eat 6 meals a day, so I don't really have breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Although I have breakfast, that's always my meal one, but everything else will fluctuate. My breakfast consists of eggs. It consists of a meat, and that is either a bison or a steak. It also consists of oatmeal. It could be brown rice cereal with a little bit of fruit. Usually it's either papaya, which I love papaya, or some blueberries.
So it basically has eggs and meat and fruit for breakfast. Now, the real shame is he doesn't tell us quantities. Is he having 4 eggs, 6 eggs, 8 eggs? We don't know, but ultimately it doesn't matter. Quite glad he didn't mention that. Maybe he said we shouldn't do this because you are not the size of The Rock, and therefore you're going to need less eggs. You're going to need less meat. Talking about that as well, especially with the increase in costs at the moment, you may not want to buy any meat and eat eat that for breakfast. That's going to be super duper expensive. So once again, you could have more eggs. They're still the same kind of protein. There's not magic protein in these kinds of things. You could have it with the protein shake, etc. You could put that in the oats. He mentioned that too. Not sure I threw that in there. So it's basically just a carbohydrate source and a protein source. I would imagine the only reason he mixes it up a bit is because it's going to feel more like a meal. Also, blueberries are always good fruit because they are an antioxidant, so that's going to help you as well. So, I mean, that's, again, is there anything major like, oh my gosh, in there? No, he's just having porridge, eggs, and meat.
Second meal of the day, which usually I eat around 10, 11 o'clock. That's what I consider my lunch. Usually consists of complex carb, like a rice, as well as chicken breast. I'll have some greens. I'm eating that after my workout.
Right, so he's having broccoli, chicken, and rice. The thing that we hear all the time. But here's the secret, really. I have chicken, broccoli, and rice. You don't have to eat that way. That's why it's become somewhat of a trope and somewhat of a stereotype, a trope, I should say, is because every single celebrity on the planet would say that they ate this, but I eat it because it works. White rice sits on my stomach nice and easy. Chicken, I like chicken, good source of protein. Broccoli, tastes delicious, getting my vegetables in. You can do it. If you want to be more experimental, you can do that as well. But we're going too far the other way now. The seesaw is tipping in the other direction. You can have green, white. It's absolutely fine. Chicken, broccoli, and rice is a good meal. It's a good meal when you're bulking. It's a good meal when you're cutting. Because basically, it's a balanced macronutrient meal, which is ultimately what we're trying to do.
And my dinner could consist of either a fish or a chicken or a buffalo or a steak. And again, some sort of complex carbohydrate and a green.
So yeah, when he goes to dinner, he does the same kind of a thing. He either has salmon for the omega fats. He says he eats the same thing every day, but I bet some days I'll have a chicken, obviously no fat. Some days I'll have a salmon, omega fats, because you want to make sure you're getting those in as well. I'm not 100% sure he's going to talk. He said he ate 6 meals a day. And I know the next one, I see it right here, says, what's your go-to comfort food? Hopefully he's going to tell us what his other 3 snacks are, because we know what his 3 major meals of the day are. But it could just be a protein shake. It could just be, well, who knows what, right? It could be, it's not, basically what I'm trying to say is, it's not going to be anything that's going to be a massive surprise. It's not going to be, oh, I take this apple and I mix it with this peanut butter and then I put this special sauce in it and all of a sudden I added 25 pounds of muscle. That's not true. You know, it's going to, as you know, it's 1,000 things working together that helps you put on muscle mass or lose body fat or wherever it's going to be. So just presume any other meal he does have, it's just going to be protein, fats, carbs, or an amalgamation of all of that. Hopefully he talks about it.
My go-to comfort food would have to be cheeseburger. Sometimes it's a double cheeseburger. I need some bacon on there. I need some avocado. Starts with a good, big, fat-ass bun. French fries are important. Sweet potato fries too as well. And I need some sort of sweets, sugar at the end of that. Usually some sort of cookies, maybe even a crumb cake. Yeah, those are my favorite ones.
So this cheat meal is burgers and sugar treat. Like, I would have rather known his snacks. I would have rather known, are you a big fan of eating liquid protein shakes, or do you prefer to get your food from, whole protein sources, which I do, because I think it's better when it comes to nutrients and stuff. We still have a couple of minutes on this, so hopefully we get something. But I mean, the Rock's obsessed with posting his cheat meals on Instagram, so we could have just looked there.
That's a great question. I never eat in the Iron Paradise, even though the gym is equipped for that. Every time I get in the Iron Paradise, it's time to rock and roll. It's time to train.
There we go. I appreciate that. I did a video on this the other day about stuff that you shouldn't do in the gym, and eating was up there because I saw somebody eating on the leg press. Don't eat in the gym. If The Rock's not eating in his gym that he built and nobody else goes into, you don't need to eat in the gym. Sorry. Fitness Palace of Love.
My favorite carb is white rice or sweet potatoes.
So his go-to carbs are white rice or sweet potato. I'd agree with both of these. Some people say, oh, you have to have brown rice. No, you don't. Because people talk about the GI index. I have white rice because, again, it's easier on my stomach. Brown rice, actually, I find difficult, harder to digest. The only reason you care about the GI index if you are literally eating a bowl of rice. You're not, though. You're going to be having it with a protein. You're going to be having it with some kind of vegetable. So when you put all that into your system, your body is going to digest it slower anyway. That's why people run away from whites like rice and white bread. Oh my God, it digests so quickly. My glucose goes up. Yes, to a certain extent. But when you've mixed it with other things, it slows it down because that's how the body is worked. So just pick the one that works for you. And if you need to eat less of it, just eat less of it. Don't punish yourself. Same with sweet potato. Sweet potato is so easy to eat. Just like melts in your mouth.
My sushi order, I like rolls and I like fun rolls. I love getting like the turquoise blast roll. I mean, whatever the fun rolls are. Because usually when I'm having my sushi, that's usually my cheat day.
That was weird. You talked about sushi. I don't know much about sushi. I like any sushi that's rice and salmon. I think smoked salmon is one of the greatest inventions of our time.
I have a complicated relationship with bread. But it's a wonderful relationship. I will try anything on bread. I believe bread goes with everything.
Yeah, he's probably right. Bread probably does go with everything. And again, don't be scared of bread. You can have bread in your diet. It's not going to kill you.
The best food smell in the world is something on an open flamed grill. I love that.
Well, now we're just answering weird questions. What's your go-to favorite food smell? It's got to be a pizza, right? He went for open grilled things, which I understand. I'm always going to go with pizza. Stick it up your ass. If you've watched other videos, you know. If you don't, you probably just clicked off.
If I had to choose one go-to protein, buffalo.
Interesting. His go-to protein was buffalo. I think I've ever had buffalo, probably because it's super expensive. Mine would be chicken.
I bet you Helen Mirren could down a whole bunch of coconut banana pancakes with me.
Now we're talking about Helen Mirren and eating pancakes. This video is not what I was expecting.
Dwayne Johnson was an omelet. First would have some onions, some ground up buffalo or ground up sirloin. A little bit of bacon will go in there, a little bit of avocado, a little bit of peanut butter. Don't judge me.
Peanut butter in omelets, I think that. I think peanut butter is a lot like bread. It can go with anything. I mean it. Think about the amount of dessert foods that have peanut butter with. You can have it with chicken satay. It'd be good with eggs. Peanut butter is basically delicious.
My last meal on earth would be double dough pizza, one half of it pineapple and bacon, and the other half pepperoni.
Yeah, mine would be that. Not that, because I'm Jewish, I wouldn't have that, but mine would be a pizza. And it would just be a pizza with a bunch of cheese on it, a bunch of chicken on it, a bunch of red peppers on it, a bunch of onions on it, and a stuffed damn crust. Stuff my crust.
So this is a great question. Hands down, without a shadow of a doubt, being fit for longevity is my priority. And doing my best to follow a very strict, regimented, disciplined diet. So that all came from my old man, and I apply that today. So my priority is longevity.
Longevity, man, that's all I've been talking about in videos recently because people seem to forget about this. You don't just want to train when you're 20, 22, 23, 25, 30, 32, 34, 47. You want to still be training when you're 65. Why wouldn't you be? Just because you're going to be in old age by then, you're not just going to stop loving the gym. You're just going to have to adapt your training so it's a little bit different and you can protect yourself, etc. Because, of course, you are going to be older. But think about that now. I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but one day that is going to be you. So take care of yourself. And remember, the gym can be a dangerous place.
Do I ever eat in bed? I do eat in bed, just not food.
That's right. He made I can't say it. YouTube banned one of my videos the other day because I said the scientific word for your genitalia area. So now I'm terrified. I even emailed them and said, what is the deal now? But he made a sex joke. That's what it is. I don't eat in bed. Don't like it. Think it's weird. So there you go. That's everything The Rock eats. Did it help? Not really. But again, you can kind of get the basis from this. He's eating chicken and rice. He's eating eggs. He's eating oats. He's eating all the things that you've been told 1,000 times because there's a reason they're out there. And that's because they work. And this is why I like to double down on this stuff. Stop looking for the secret. It doesn't exist. Just be consistent and just be smart and you'll be absolutely fine. Now, please do leave a comment below and let me know what you think about The Rock, his diet, your diet, whatever food you may be eating. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the bell and become part of the notification squad. I appreciate you if you get the notification. Who knows with YouTube? There will be a video on the screen, probably about The Rock. Do give it a click. Otherwise, grillermind.com/Simon. Just go to get 10% off today, which is Monday the 21st of November. There's a big restock on loads of stuff, so go on there and make sure you get those supplements. I promise you they're very good. I wouldn't be supporting them otherwise. You can also get my Fitness Palace of Love t-shirt. That's right. In conjunction with Samson Athletic, this is where my new fitness merch is going to go. There'll be a link down there. Make sure you use that link as an affiliate link so people know that you got it from me and I get a little bit of money. I appreciate that. Thank you very much to Samson as well. Come follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Simon316, patreon.com/Simon316. You'll support me that way. I'm on Cameo. It's almost Christmas time. I'll be happy to do that. But otherwise, be smart with your food. Be vigilant, whatever that means. Just believe in yourself. Of course you can do it. You're you. No one's better than you. See you soon.